Hello everyone, welcome to Mission Command MTG, and we got some surprise previews from Lorwyn Eclipsed. So let's dive in to the 4 previews we've gotten this week. So first we've got High Prefect Morcant for 2, a black and a green mana, a legendary creature that's an elf noble and a 4/4, and whenever High Prefect Morcant or another elf you control enters the battlefield, each opponent blights 1. They each put a -1/-1 counter on a creature they control. Tap 3 untapped elves you control to proliferate, activate only as a sorcery. So this is a really powerful card. The blight ability on here we haven't seen in many years at this point, but that is an incredibly powerful ability. Basically, you are going to, over the course of a couple of turns or a couple of plays, you might be able to, drop High Prefect Morcant and then a 1-drop, and now all of your opponent's creatures get -2/-2, and some of them you're probably likely to kill off at that point. But the ability to blight stuff is so powerful that I believe this is going to be a card that a Golgari deck that's going to be based on elves will probably be built around. Next, we've got Kirill, Attentive First Year for 1 and 2 hybrid Boros mana. It's a legendary creature, Vampire Cleric, and a 3/3. And you can tap 2 untapped creatures you control. And if you do, you get to copy target triggered ability you control. And you may choose new targets for the copy, activate only once each turn. So I can see this in a deck where you're consistently getting triggered abilities and you're able to just copy them. So I don't know if, even though Mono Red right now has a lot of triggered abilities in it, I don't know if Mono Red is going to want this, but maybe the Arabella deck would want this, where they could tap 2 things and copy the ability on Arabella when it goes off, when she attacks. And under those circumstances, I think this could be a very, very powerful card in that kind of build or that right deck setup. Otherwise, I don't think it's going to see much play at all. Next, we've got Perfect Intimidation for 3 and a black mana. You get a sorcery. You get to choose one or both. Target opponent exiles 2 cards from their hand, or remove all counters from target creature. So I think this is probably a card that's more designed for limited and possibly even Commander, but I think that it has an outside chance of seeing some standard play, given that the lesson deck is so prevalent right now, and being able to remove counters from things would have some relevance there, and also, being able to exile cards from your opponent's hand would be helpful, and those things won't be going to the graveyard. So I think under those circumstances, there's a little bit of playability here for it, but probably more likely to see just limited play. All right, and our last card of the day was Unexpected Assistance for 3 and 2 blue mana. You get an instant with Convoke, and that means that your creatures can assist casting this spell. Each creature you tap while casting this spell pays for 1 mana or 1 mana of that creature's color. You get to draw 3 cards, then discard a card. So if you're playing a really go wide strategy and you've got a lot of small creatures on your battlefield, then I think this has some chance of seeing play, certainly in limited, and maybe an outside chance of seeing some play also in standard. All right, so those are the 4 previews. Hopefully you are excited about the High Prefect like I am, which is a card that I think will bring Golgari back, because it hasn't really been strong in a while in standard, but I think it's going to help bring it back. So stick around, and I will be back with more previews come January when we get more Lorwyn Eclipsed. Thanks for staying to the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.